So we've talked a little bit about the fear that employers have when going remote, and then we've also talked about the drivers for them going remote, which would be technical excellence. They're looking for a skill set that they can't find locally, or they're going to reduce the wage bill. So I want to talk a little bit about salaries. Now, I can't tell you what salary to request. It's going to depend on your skill set. It's going to depend on your experience. It's going to depend on the country, the region of the country where you're applying, and the market at the time. So I can't tell you, ask for this particular rate. But in this video, I want to talk about salary because it's quite common for people to say, I want that job in San Francisco so that I can earn the same amount of money as those people. Should you earn that money if you work in one of those companies in San Francisco? Yes. Will you get it? Probably not. That's just the way the world is. Now, I could tell you to fight the good fight, but for most people, it's I need a job. And so what I want to encourage you to think about in this video is you have leverage. If you're trying to get a job in a different country because it pays more, in a different currency because it's more favorable to you, then that is your leverage. So if you're in Europe wanting that San Francisco role, demanding the San Francisco wage means you're no different now to all of those developers in San Francisco. So you lost something you had. Now, you might be able to accept 3/4 of the salary of San Francisco and still live like a god wherever you are. And so what I'm encouraging to think is, if you've got the skills and you're able to present them, because that's also something that's worth thinking about. The salary caps that you see are usually always broken. It's seldom the case that I have, as a recruiter, found a developer and said, this is the right developer, this is the person you want, but they want far and above the salary cap. In almost all situations, the employer has said, that's no problem. If it's the right person, we'll take them. The salary cap always gets blown away. But you have to be able to present that you are deserving of that you are valuable to that person. And if you can't, that's going to be the limiting factor. So when someone comes back to you and says, no, we're paying this, what you should be interpreting that in your brain as is, I haven't given that person enough evidence to prove that I'm worth that money. Now, what I want you to consider is, if you're trying to break into these US-based roles or any other country, if you're trying to break into European roles from wherever you are, break into roles in a country that's paying more than where you are currently, or in a different currency, you might have leverage by taking a lesser salary. And I want you to think about, is it worth taking a lesser salary? Is it worth using that leverage to get your foot in the door, to get that first opportunity, which might open you up to further remote roles in that other country, or more roles or more long-term roles with that current organisation? I'm not telling you to always go for a lesser salary. That's not what I'm saying. Even myself, as I've looked for roles elsewhere, I sometimes have gone, no, that's the salary I want. And then I've known that it's on me to prove that I'm worth it. But in other situations, I've gone, I want that role because that's going to look good on my CV. I want that role because I want that experience. I want to work in that company. I want to do that particular thing. And I know that one of the things I have to leverage, because I'm in a different country, is that I can take a lesser salary and still be more than happy. So if you're obsessed with the salary, then it's on you to prove that you're worth it. And that's going to be difficult because you're competing with people who are even more local. So in which case they might favour them with lesser skills, but they're local, because that's still a fear that's around with remote work. But failing that, don't discount your leverage just yet. Consider it, and if it's worth using, leverage it. If it's not, then we'd need to go back to all the other videos in this course and think, okay, how am I going to prove my worth? Hope that helps. See you in the next video. Take it easy.